Hey FlossTube, I hope you guys are doing great today. This is Leslie with Fat Cat Flossing. Welcome back, y'all, to my crazy catty wonderful life. What's not to love, right? I have to thank y'all for all your kind comments, for coming back again, for subscribing. This morning I rolled over that 750 subscriber mark, so I have the project bag to give away, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But if you're new, thanks for stopping by and chatting with me about cross stitch. If you're returning, thanks even more, because you know the crazy you're about to hear. So anyway, thanks y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here to chat about cross stitch, and we'll chat about some other stuff too. I didn't have a stitch along or a stitch with me video last weekend because the weekend was just too busy and I didn't get it done. But last Thursday or Friday, in my last regular FlossTube, I mentioned that we were going to a concert up in Fayetteville on Friday night. And a really nice lady who comments real frequently on my videos by the name of Jackie sent me a couple of pictures. At the concert we were going to was Royal Wade Kimes. Great music. Here is a picture of Jackie with Wade from back in the late 90s. I think she said like maybe 1997 or something, from a concert that she had gone to, I think in Florida. And isn't that great? And Jackie, I did not get a chance to show him to Wade on Friday night because he was just swamped, and it was 9:30 and I hadn't had dinner and I was hungry and I wanted to go eat. If you want to get right down to brass tacks. This fat girl had to feed her face. But when next time I see him, I am going to show him those, and he's going to get a huge kick out of them. He's such a nice man. I think he'll really enjoy seeing those pictures. Thanks for sharing them with me. I got a huge kick out of them. Other things that are going on with us. Steve's taking vacation next week. Yeah, a whole week. My husband is a workaholic. He works in the most calling-in-est place I have ever heard of in my life. People call in at the drop, I would say the drop of a hat, but it doesn't even take something the size of a hat. The drop of a feather. And Steve's always got his nose on the grindstone. And he always worries about taking time off because he knows what it's like to get stuck with somebody else's work when they're not there. And so he's super concerned about leaving somebody, in the lurch, because he's not going to be there. But he had to take off next Thursday for a doctor's appointment because, it took 3 months for me to get that appointment for him. And it's just a checkup kind of thing. But he has to establish a physician here. Put my foot down, he has to do it. So anyway, he was taking off next Thursday. And then he decided he was going to take off the Thursday and the Friday. And then it ended up he's just going to take off the whole week. So yay, get to see my hubby next week. Because he leaves like at 6:30 in the morning and doesn't get home till 6 or later at night. So it's going to be nice to have him around for a week. But I didn't get huge amount of stitching done this week. I anticipate that I will get less stitching done next week because for some reason he thinks when he's off, I should want to hang out with him. Who'da thunk? He's got golf planned. Now, I haven't played golf since I tore my shoulder up last spring. I tore my rotator cuff and had it repaired 1st of June. And my orthopedic surgeon was very specific on, you can play, but make sure you don't hit the ground when you swing a club. I play very poorly. Thank God I cross-stitch better than I play golf. I like going along, and I enjoy riding along in the cart with Steve and visiting with him. And it's really pretty where he plays at the Lion's Den in Dardanelle. So I will probably chip and putt a little bit, but I'm not sure I have I don't think I have the balls required to swing a driver or an iron, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm likely to be out of the house a lot less next week because while I am a stay-at-home, entertain myself here person, Steve is not. He likes to be out and going and doing, and he'll wear you out. But anyway, that's on our plan. And then there is some kind of retro arcade thing up in Fayetteville. Now, I'm 55 years old. And I actually like to play video games. Going to the arcade, we'll see. Anyway, I've promised him I will go up to Fayetteville with him and go to the arcade. Yes, I'm likely to be old enough to be the mother, if not the grandmother, of everybody else there. That should be entertaining. And anyway, I got really excited on, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights ago. Cindy Sorley, who I think on Facebook runs the cross stitch buy and sell, something like that. I'll try to link it below because I don't remember the exact name. Anyway, she was at market last weekend and talked to the representative from Mirabilia, and was trying to convince her that they need to re-release Lady of the Flag. And I was like, ah, because y'all, that sucker sells for like $500 on eBay. And I don't have $500 to spend on one pattern. And I'm not sure that even if I had $500, that I'd be willing to spend it on a single pattern. That just makes no sense whatsoever to me. More power to you if you can do it, but I can't bring myself to do that. But anyway, y'all cross your fingers and your toes that maybe they're going to release that, because that's one of my unicorns. Love to have that pattern. Anyway, and of course I'm all excited about all kinds of other market releases, and I might have ordered 1 or 2. Yeah, I fell off the stitch from Stash Wagon so hard I bounced, but anyway, there might be 1 or 2 new patterns coming. Anne says she has them all. She just haven't had time to mail them yet. So, looking forward to those. I'll show those off soon. What else is going on? That's about it. Nothing real excited. So what have I been? I'm going to steal Teresa's thing. All into. Well, a couple of things. Now, I haven't been down to Little Rock or up to Fayetteville in a couple of months. But last time I was there, I got at Whole Foods some of these things. And they are Laura's Wholesome Junk Food. And the particular ones I like are the chocolate fudge bitelets. They are so good, y'all. They are so good. And I wish I could show them to you, but as you can see, my little tin is sadly empty. But I did discover just this morning that I can order these online. So when I'm done with this, I will be visiting Amazon to get some more of these because they are awesome. One of the main ingredients is dates, and they gave it a very, it's a great flavor. I like dark chocolate. I don't like super, super sweet, and I like oats. So between the oats and the dates and the dark chocolate flavor, these just rock. So Laura's Wholesome Junk Food. Fudge bitelets. Try some. They're so good. We've also been into watching a show on, I think it's HBO. I'm not positive about that. But if you Google it, you'll be able to find which network it's on. It's called the Santa Clarita Diet. And I won't give the whole plot away, but I will just tell you it is a couple of realtors, in Santa Clarita, who are, she inadvertently becomes a zombie. Y'all, it is belly laughing funny, y'all. It is belly laughing funny. Drew Barrymore plays the female lead, the realtor who's a zombie. And I can't remember the name of the guy that plays her husband. But he is such a good actor, y'all. He was the lead actor in a series that we watched. I think it was called Justified, maybe. Very serious, very kick-ass guy. Was good in that. But he is just this bumbling, mild-mannered, great actor. Because he plays both characters diametrically opposed beautifully. And his comedic timing is just spot on. He is hilarious. Just hilarious. The Santa Clarita Diet on, I think, HBO. Go watch that. You'll laugh. And the second season is just about to come out, I think. So, and since we've already watched it all the way through one time, and this is our second go through, I've been able to sit and stitch and not pay real close attention because I can just listen to it and not have to watch. So that's worked out well. And then Steve has really been all into, now I like him too, but I'm not as crazy about him as he is, but a band called Lake Street Dive. It's kind of bluesy pop. Very good. The lead singer she has a beautiful voice. It's very deep. It's very unusual, very resonant. Give them a listen. They have a new release coming out, I think, the end of this month. So Steve's been going around the house singing Lake Street Dive songs. What else? Cara Cara oranges. We accidentally found these at Walmart. So I would assume if they're available at Walmart in Arkansas, they're available most places. They have the sweetest, most intensely orange flavor. I mean, they are just like concentrated orange in a small little orange. Now, they don't peel easily. They're not like a cutie. But they are so delicious. And I think they're in season through the end of April. But if you like oranges, try those because they are awesome. I may go peel one when I'm done with this. Really, really good. And then the last thing I'm all into is spring. Spring is springing. The popcorn trees are popping. That's what my mother-in-law calls them. They're I think the ornamental pears, and they have those white blooms all over them. But they are, when I went into Fort Smith on Tuesday, I think I noticed that they were starting to bloom. So spring's coming, which is awesome and scary all at the same time. Because now, remember I grew up in South Texas. The big weather threat in South Texas is hurricanes, which are horrible and do intense devastation. But the only good thing about a hurricane is you know it's coming and you've got time to get out of its way. Now, you may not have anything to come back to, but you got time to get out of the way. Tornadoes, not so much. And spring weather in Arkansas, this is my second spring here now, are unpredictable. Lots of thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms, tornado scares. Yeah, I don't enjoy that part at all. And my particular home does not have a basement, and I really wish it did. If I were a rich woman, we would be installing one of those subterranean, they call them hidey holes here. But they're basically a subterranean vault that you can install that's a tornado shelter. I do wish I had one, but I don't, so I just suck it up. But anyway, other than the tornado threat, really looking forward to spring. I wandered through the garden center. I used to garden a lot, and I had roses, and I love my roses. But I haven't had roses in 20 plus years. But we wandered through the garden center at, I think it was Lowe's last week, and I saw this really pretty peace rose, which is kind of a variegated peachy pink and yellow. And I think we're going to get one of those and plant it over Stella for her because she was kind of peachy colored. So I'm looking forward to getting a couple of roses planted. But anyway, that's my all-in-twos, looking forward to's. So y'all want to talk about cross stitch now? We're 12 minutes in. Better late than never. So the good news is I do have a finish. I finished Henry OHare by LizzieKate. And he's not fully finished yet. I haven't gotten the stand-up done. And I hope I do get the stand-up done before Easter because, you know, husband wants attention kind of thing. But anyway, he was a lot of fun to stitch. I love LizzieKate. Now, I'll tell you, I felt like those trousers went on forever in 10 days. I didn't think I was ever going to get done with that gassed midnight. But I did, and he's done, and I'm very happy with the way he turned out. So I'm looking forward to getting him finished as a stand-up. Hopefully for this Easter. If not, next Easter. There'll be a next one, right? Anyway, I'm happy with Henry. And that pattern is already on its way to Stephanie from Pam and Steph. Sorry, I've got threads caught in the zipper here. There we go. Have to put him up because, you know, at my house, 15 cats. Cats barf a lot. And, you know, this is the worst season for that because it's spring. Everybody's blowing coat. And so they groom themselves. Lots of hair means lots of hairballs. So have to cover all the cross stitch up so it doesn't get hairballed on. So anyway, that's probably more information than anybody wanted. Such is the life of a cat breeder. And then the next thing that I worked on, and y'all have seen this one a lot, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Blackberry House from Plum Street Samplers. And this is the one that I have stitched on my last couple of Stitch With Me's. Because it's easy to do because, you know, I've just been filling in the big planner here and it's mindless and I can talk and I don't have to count. I can just cross stitch. But I did work on it some outside of the planner. I got this leaf here done except for that center vein that I have to go back and fill in with white. And then got to start on this one over here. That's what I worked on last night. So, unless I come up with an alternative plan, you'll see it again this weekend with the Stitch With Me. But I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be really pretty. Looking forward to making more progress on it. So far, I've really enjoyed that pattern. And it's well charted because although I don't see particularly well, and I'm not going to show you the pattern, but it's charted well in the sense that the symbols that look a lot like each other are not close together. It's been very easy to read the pattern. I hate it when there's like a dash this way and a slash that way, and they're right next to each other, and you're like, ah. So anyway, that one's well done. The next thing I have worked on is a little bee, also from LizzieKate. You may sense a theme. And I started this beginning of last week, maybe. I've slept since then, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly. And it's stitched on the linen that was in the kit. And I think it's a 30 count. It's either a 30 or 32 count. Natural linen. If I did this, you could probably see it better. And I'm probably 50% or better done with it. Happy with how it's going. And I'm using most of the call for threads on it. There were a couple I didn't have, and I've just subbed in some DNC. Because I have to tell you, I love the overdyed threads. Love the variegations in them. But on little bitty areas, there's really just not enough to where you can appreciate that variegation. So I have zero difficulty subbing in a DMC for those because you're not going to see the variegation anyway. Most of the time. Now, I'll show you an exception to that shortly. Anyway, that's my progress on a little bee. And that chart's going to Michelle Bendy Stitchy when I get done with it. Now, I'm also working on another LizzieKate. Again, I have a theme. This is Summer Smalls. And I'm doing the little summer pillow here. And I am probably a little over halfway through that. I'm 4 letters into the 6-letter word of summer. Put it that way. Now remember what I was talking about with variegation. And this is 28 count white even weave just from my stash. And it's also stitched with the recommended threads, which are mostly weeks, but I also subbed in a couple here that are DMC. And then these 2 little birds down here that you can't tell are birds yet, but 2 little blue blobs were charted in white. And since I pulled white fabric for it, that wasn't going to work for me. So this is actually my first use of my Victorian motto sampler threads for the blue. I decided they were going to be bluebirds. And even in those 2, there's only like, I think 19 stitches in each one. But even in that small area, you can see, and I'm sorry, y'all, my shoulder's hurting, so I'm having a hard time holding this up. You can see the color variation. The left bird is a distinctly different blue color than the one in the right. And even within the bird, there is color variegation. So I'm super happy. That's my first time to use the Victorian motto threads. Super, super, super happy with them. You know, like I said, I broke down the cost. They're, you know, a quarter of the price of Weeks or Gast or Classic Colorworks for an equivalent amount of thread, because you get 20 yards versus 5 yards. The colors are just as beautiful, and that variegation is awesome. Loving that. So I plan to sub them in on some other stuff as I get new stuff started. Really liking them. And y'all, I'm so bad. I was working on those stupid birds, and each one has a little beak, which are, by the way, charted in black, and I don't want them to be black. I think the beak should be orange. So I'm using that Victorian motto thread. I thought, oh, I should use an orange for that. Oh, okay. The beaks are 3 stitches each. I don't need to order a 20-yard skein of Victorian motto thread to do a total of 6 stitches. Duh. But I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to, but I'm going to be good and pull some DMC. Although, to being good, that's what I think of that. Anyway, the next one I've accomplished something on is If a Flower Bloomed by Mosey and me. And it's actually starting to come together pretty well. Mr. Bunny Ms. Bunny, because she's got a pink shirt. The Bunny is starting to take shape pretty well. I got the shirt finished. I've got the overalls done, except filling in that zipper area. So I'm starting to fill in the bunny there. And Char's birthday is July 16th. I think we are on track to have that done. So good progress on that one. Happy with that. And then lastly, let me turn over my list here so I can see what I'm doing. This is Welcome Dear August from Blackbird Designs. And I've got, a fair amount of the bird done. And the only thing new I've done is I started this little twig thing down here. So not much progress, but let me tell you why I'm showing it to you. Here's the pattern. This is the one I'm doing. It was intended as a birth announcement or welcome or something. And so I'm not going to put August. I'm going to put, I haven't decided if I'm going to do my initials or our last name up there, and then 2018. But when I saw it in the shop at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, it was finished just like this on this same box. And I was so excited when I went to Hobby Lobby the other day, y'all. Look what I found. If it is not the exact same box, it's its first cousin. So I will be finishing this on top of that. And I think this is actually the larger size box. There is a smaller one, which they did not have. But I'm excited to finish Welcome Dear August on top of there eventually when I get it done. But hey, 50% off. Because I don't buy anything at Hobby Lobby if it's on the 50% off. Because their stuff rotates like every 2 or 3 weeks on what's on sale. So just wait. But I had looked a couple times for that box and I did not find it. So I timed it right this time, thank goodness. So happy to have that. Now I just have to order the pom-pom stuff to go around the edge. And while I was on that row at Hobby Lobby, y'all, I need to stay out of Hobby Lobby. I found this. Isn't that cute? Isn't that pretty? I think this will do great holding some little smalls as I get them done. So, again, it was 50% off. It was not, unfortunately, free, but it was 50% off. So, y'all excuse me while I get a drink. And if I'm a little disorganized, I'm sorry. This is my third time to do this video because halfway through the first time, the doorbell rang, the mailman was here with something, and the dogs barked like crazy. And then halfway through the second time, I had forgotten to put my phone on airplane mode, and the phone rang and cut it off. So, third time's a charm, right? Yeah. Anyway, I was bragging on my Victorian motto sampler threads, which I have now mixed up, and I don't remember which ones belong to which group anymore. But, so I'll just show them all together. This is my 12 Victorian motto sampler threads for this month. And they are such pretty colors, y'all. Whoops, dropped one. And I think my favorite out of this batch is this color right here. And it's showing up kind of, see how it changes? It looks more pink, it looks more purple, it looks more brown. It just depends on how the light hits it. But it's just a really pretty color. I love that. It's called My Potpourri. And I'm going to have to find something to use that in. And there's some other really pretty colors. That peach is really nice. I really like that blue. And the others are good colors too, but I really like those. This kind of, I don't know if you can see the variegation in that. There's kind of a grayish tone in that green. It's called Coastal Seaweed. I like that one a lot. And then this one is like a charcoal blue. And again, depending on how the light hits it, it's more gray or it's more blue. It's just got a really pretty sheen. So, super, super happy. I don't always wisely spend my cross-stitch dollars. But this is a good investment. Love them. And then the only cross-stitch thing I bought outright, that wasn't a monthly thing like those, was, I don't remember if this was, I think it was an eBay chart, but it could have been Stash Unload. But anyway, y'all know I am all about bees. And if you don't know why I love bumblebees, then y'all need to go watch, I think it was video number 3, where I told the whole story about my cattery name and wearing the quote on my helmet and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, suffice it to say, without redoing that whole hoop-de-doo, I love bees. And I just think this is pretty. It's all the right colors, blue and pinks and some neutral, and I love it. I just love it. Now, it says, for a bee's experience of clovers and of noon. I'm not married to that quote. I may change the quote. Or I may not. I don't know. Haven't started it yet. We'll see. But I love that. And I did fall off the wagon to get it. But it's a bee thing. I needed it. Enough said. And that's all my stash. Or not stash. Whatever it is. Stash enhancement or haul. Or it's all the new stuff I got. Except what some very kind folks gifted me. I was watching Christine with Stitch All the Things last week, I guess. And she was showing off a quilt that she had backed with this fabric. And I just love this fabric. It says courage, believe, smile, laugh, hope, inspire, believe in yourself, you are beautiful. It's just super positive. I love it. And I had messaged her and asked her where she got it. And she told me. But it was only available in 108-inch width, meant for backing quilts. Okay, I don't need 108 inches of it. So I said, okay, thanks, that's great, appreciate the information. And the next thing I know, she said, well, I'm going to have a remnant left when I'm done. Do you want it? Well, yeah, my mama didn't raise no dummies. Yes, I want it, please, please, thank you. So she sent me, and y'all, it's more than just a remnant. That's not the right way to talk about this. It is, again, it's 108-inch width, okay? And it's a full 2 yards. So it's about 30 inches across by 2 yards long is what she sent me. So I have enough to do at least a couple of project bags out of, and whatever else I decided I wanted to do. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. I love the message on it. Thank you so much, Christine. You rock. I really appreciate it. And then not only did she send that, in the same bag, she included a half yard of this Psychedelic Kitty fabric. Isn't that the cutest thing you ever saw? Here's one that's in the middle so you can see him better. Where is he? There he is. Look at that psychedelic green and yellow striped kitty. And I think that those are pussy willows that he's surrounded by. Oh, and there's a polka dot kitty too. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I got to make me something out of that. He's going to be a project bag really soon. Thank you, Christine. You hit the nail on the head. Gotta love me some kitty fabric. And it's just such a cute print and so vibrant and colorful. Love it. And like that wasn't enough, I opened the package and 2 flosses fell out. And look, they match the kitty fabric. And I've never had Mosey threads, so I'm anxious to try them. I'm looking forward to that. They feel really nice and soft. They have almost a silky feel to them for a cotton thread, but I am looking forward to using those. Thank you, Christine. Everything is beautiful and so very much appreciated. You rock. I owe you a big one. And then, I guess about 2 weeks ago, maybe, I commented, I think I was doing my Stitch With Me, and I commented that I had never stitched on anything higher than 32 count. And I was just trying the 36 on that Dear August one. And a very nice lady by the name of Tammy, who watches and frequently comments on my videos, said, well, hey, I've got a couple of linen scraps. Can I send you some and you can try it and see if you like it? And I was like, well, of course, that would be awesome. Thank you. So she sent me this really pretty little card with a nice note in it. And then 2 pieces of fabric. And I think this is the 40 count. And looking at it, I think I'll be able to stitch on it. Now, I haven't tried it yet. But isn't that pretty, y'all? That mint green with the raspberry color in it. So pretty. I have to find something to stitch on there. I think that shouts spring all over it. So I need to find like a spring small to stitch on there. And then another little piece. And I think this one is 36 count. And it's kind of a mossy green color. That color is not showing up real true. It's a darker, less gray color than what it's showing up there. But both of them really, really pretty. Thank you so much, Tammy. That's awesome. Thank you. I will let you know when I stitch something on them. So that's what people were giving me. So in a minute, we're going to talk about what I want to give somebody for being the 750th or for reaching 750 subscribers. But I did get some sewing done this week, and I sewed several bags, and 3 of the 4 were mailed out as gifts to people. So I can't show you those, but I did make one for me. And I think this may be my favorite bag that I've made so far. I just love that bird fabric. Isn't that pretty, y'all? Just love those birds. And this is kind of a funky fabric that I used for the contrast. The trim is real pretty. But this is what I had, and it had the right colors in it, and I didn't really have anything else that had the right colors. So, love that bag. And I got to get busy if I'm going to get bags made in time for Mania. Get my butt to sewing. But, speaking of project bags, here's the peacock bag that I said I was going to give away when I got to 750. And I did indeed roll over 750 this morning. Yay! Thank you all again for subscribing and watching. But what I did was I've been writing down everybody's name as they comment. And, you know, signing, you know, numbers 1 through whatever. And I used the random number generator today. And the person that won the giveaway is Susie Q. Scott, 1954, who commented on video 18. So, Susie, I've already commented on your video. Send me your mailing address, and you can email me. My email will be in the show notes below this. Or you can reply via YouTube Messenger. But get in touch with me. I'll put all my contact information in the show notes, but get in touch with me so I can mail you your bag. You won the peacock bag. And I'm sure that there will be more giveaways forthcoming. Like now. This is Happy Life by Sam Sarah Designs. And I meant to pull it down off the wall and show it to y'all stitched up, but I forgot. It is a pattern in 3 pieces. All 3 pieces are in here. I just put them all in the same one. Now, this is gently used, okay? It hasn't been marked on. But it is, I stitched from it. I didn't make a working copy from this one. So, but when I get to 850, I'm going to give this away. And what I want, I'm going to change the way I'm doing that. I'm going to start using that what do they call it? Comment picker thing. Anyway, I want you to say happy life. Somewhere in your comment, just the words happy life. And then I will pull this when we get to 850. I'm sorry, 800. 800 even. 850 from where we are right now. And I'll mail this to you. You must be 18 or older to enter, just so it's legit for you to give me your address. You can live anywhere in the world. I'll mail it wherever. And please be a subscriber. I will check that. But anyway, this is the pattern, all 3 parts to Happy Life by Sam Sarah Designs. I stitched it last summer. It's a really fun stitch, and I just love what it says. What it says is, on the off chance you may not live forever, you may as well be happy now. And I think that pretty much sums up my philosophy. Ain't nobody got time for all that other crap. Be happy. Enjoy your life. Be a good friend. Be a good person. Be kind. Have a happy life. So, when I get to 800, happy life to somebody. And again, use the words happy life in your comment. Seems like there was something else. Well, let me blither for a minute while I'm thinking about it. Anyway, I've done 2 by Sam Sarah now. This one, and then I did the 1, 2, 3 Stitcher Street. Finished that in January, I think. Really like her patterns. Like them a lot. And I really want to do, she's got one called The Flock. And the quote on that one just speaks to me. It says, "Faith is the bird that sings the dawn while the dawn is still dark." In other words, faith is believing without seeing. And I just love that. Love it. But they are like 8 something per part. And I think there are 12 parts. So it works out to $100 for the pattern. I just haven't brought myself to pull the trigger on that one yet. But I sure would like to stitch it. You have to go rob a bank. Yeah. Why not? But anyway, doggone it. Can't remember what else I was going to talk about. So I guess I'll call it quits at 35 minutes, which is a struggle to upload anyway. But thanks for stopping by, y'all. I appreciate every time you come to chat with me. I hope you come back again soon. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully I'll see you on Sunday for a stitch with me. Bye, y'all. Happy stitching. God bless. Bye-bye.